Because even at the North Pole, leadership still matters. From the elves to the reindeer, it's teamwork that makes magic happen. This is the Passionate Leader Podcast, Christmas edition. Be sure to grab your soft blanket, your cup of hot chocolate, and your bucket of popcorn as we sit down with the big man himself, Santa Claus. Ask yourself this: what makes someone truly unforgettable? Is it the strength of their words, the size of their heart, or their ability to inspire others to believe in something more? Every year, one figure reminds us what it means to lead with joy, to give without asking for anything in return, and to bring people together through kindness. He's not just a symbol of Christmas. He's a lesson in leadership wrapped in red and trimmed with white. Think about it. Santa runs a year-round operation built on teamwork, preparation, and trust. He leads with laughter, motivates through belief, and delivers the results that make people smile all over the world. If that isn't great leadership, I don't know what is. Today we're sitting down with the big man himself, Santa Claus, to talk about what it takes to keep the magic alive, why giving matters, and how joy can be one of the most powerful forms of leadership. So whether you're here for the laughs, the lessons, or the little spark of magic we all need this time of the year, settle in. The sleigh's fueled up, the bells are ringing, and the conversation starts now with Santa Claus and the Passionate Leader. Welcome and thank you so much, Santa Claus, for joining our show today.
Oh, hi, JP. How are you?
I am absolutely honored to have you on the show.
Oh, well, thank you
So
for having
excited.
me. I'm glad I've got this opportunity to chat with your viewers and your listeners.
Tomorrow night is Christmas Eve, and we have to get you ready and back to check that list. Is it really as busy up there on the North Pole as we expect and fun as we all can imagine down here?
Oh, goodness, you wouldn't believe it. It's crunch time, right? We call it crunch time. The elves are loading up the sleigh, getting the sleigh loaded up. They're bringing all the gifts from the different warehouses over to the sleigh to where they need to be for my big trip, and all the planning and so forth. We're ironing out every last detail. It's quite an accomplishment for me to do this every single year, but I can't do it by myself.
For sure. So I would imagine your team of elves, how many elves run up at the North Pole?
Oh, well, there are thousands of elves at the North Pole, and I honestly, I don't know exactly how many, but there's elves from all over the world.
I love it. So to our elves, what do the elves do when they're not making the toys? This question was actually given to me earlier. What do the elves do when they're not making toys? Do they have the snowball fights, I would assume, stuff like that?
Oh, goodness. Yeah, we have all kinds of fun when we're not making toys and we get to have that break. Of course, there's all kinds of snow and ice sports, right? We have skating and hockey, of course, and snowball fights every now and then, but we have to make sure we're safe and, so nobody gets hurt.
Of course, of course. It's so incredibly fun to be able to have you today on our show. So we all know Christmas is just such a magical time of the year. What helps make Christmas so magical for Santa Claus?
Oh, goodness. Well, it's the children, of course, and not just the children, but the adults. When you can put a smile on a child's face and give them some hope and inspiration, and of course, when you make a child happy, it makes the parents happy. So being joyful is contagious. That's the way we look at it up here at the North Pole. The elves and I, the elves love seeing all the children happy as well. I tell them all the stories about, I'm doing special events all over the world before my big trip. So to get to meet with all the children here and there at different locations, right?
Mm. I do it. And how do you make it happen? It really must take such an incredible team of people to get everything done.
Oh, well, you've heard the expression that it takes a village, and that's no lie. It absolutely takes an entire village. All the elves, I have so many different things to do. You have the wrapping department, you have the manufacturing facilities, the different types of toys that are made. I have to have elves in charge of each one of those locations. Yes, so that way when we all work together, you see, it's not really just myself in charge. Mrs. Claus is in charge quite a bit as well. As you know, the two most important type of deer up at the North Pole, well, it's reindeer and yes deer.
Very true, Santa Claus. I couldn't. I feel that's the same way in my household. Exactly. I now to that. What does Mrs. Claus? Does she tend to get nervous when you go out on flights, or does she kind of does she take this opportunity to relax while you're out doing Christmas Eve deliveries?
Well, I know there's a bit of apprehension with Mrs. Claus. She's always worried about myself and the reindeer to make sure we have a safe trip. And there's all types of different safeguards that we use just to ensure that everything runs smoothly. And of course, there's always elves back at the North Pole that are keeping an eye on my location and everywhere I am. We have the SRDD up at the North Pole, and oh, well, the Scientific Research and Development Department, and that's headed by Dexter and Simon. They just installed a new GPS locator in my sleigh so they know where I'll be at all times and to make sure that I'm staying on time.
Mm. That must be possibly one of the more stressful parts of the job of tomorrow night's flight is making sure that we stay on time, right?
Oh, absolutely. I have some special magic that's been given to me by the elven elders, and that's a whole other story in itself, maybe for sometime in the future. But I have certain abilities that's granted to me by the elven elders in the spirit of Christmas that allow me to use certain types of magic at certain times when I need it. And the
Mm.
funny thing is so I don't even know how it works. It just works when I need it to. It's almost as if I think something and then it occurs and it happens for me. So that's the special part of the job that I have.
I love it. Um, can you tell us a time or sometime and maybe somebody showed you some kindness?
Oh my goodness, of course. It happens all the time every year, especially when I'm visiting with children. Sometimes I do go to, I'm sure you're aware and children are aware that there's many helpers out there for me because I can't be at every place at the same time. So of
Right.
course I help with all my helpers that are out there, but nobody knows where I'm going to be at what location in what part of the world or at what time I'll be there. But I love visiting with the children, and you know, all the places I've been to, there's always a child that will bring me a gift, whether it be a homemade gift, whether it be something to eat, cookies. But and it always touches my heart that the children always think about giving back to me, which is one of the most wonderful things about Christmas is giving of gifts and giving of oneself selflessly to others without asking for anything in return.
I I love it. So to cookies actually. So here's a question for you. What is your favorite cookie?
Oh, that's a great question. I have two favorite types of cookies. Can you guess what they might be?
I'm gonna say chocolate chip is one of them.
Oh, well, they're homemade and store bought, of course.
Okay, I like it.
There's not a
Okay.
cookie that I've had that I haven't liked so far. Well, but children always ask me, "What do I do with all the?" I possibly couldn't eat all those cookies in one night, could I? No, I would get a tummy ache, and I have to bring them back to the North Pole. But I keep them in a special cookie locker because if the elves got into all those cookies that I collect from all over the world, they would eat them all in one night. They would all have tummy aches, and then no one would be making any toys. And I simply
Mm,
couldn't have that, could I? No.
mm.
But don't worry because I always share those cookies. We have snack time every single day up at the North Pole, and I share all those cookies with the elves.
Again, back to being the most generous person. What to the cookie snacks, what is the most unique non-cookie treat that somebody's left for you?
Oh goodness. Well, let's see. Japan, they leave octopus and
Oh,
some fish and well, I'm not too I mean, of course I love them, and I'll have a few bites, but after you have a chocolate chip cookie, the octopus just it doesn't taste right.
right. Yeah, it's a unique mix.
Yeah, well, there's many different cultures that leave different things.
Sure, exactly. And I think that that's actually really important to talk about too, because we know, over here where I am down in the United States, we generally leave cookies. So I guess I never thought of anything. I was thinking it was going to be something like carrots, but usually we'll have the kids leave carrots for the reindeer and stuff like that.
Oh, well, you see, the different cultures, they like doing different things and with traditions, and called many different things all over the world. And, let's see, well, here in the United States, they call me Santa Claus. And I've got names like Sinterklaas and Papa Jujo and Papa Noel. And Russia is Desmoroz. So, there's many different names that I'm called around the world. So those cultures like to leave their traditions, and we like to keep those, you know, uh, continuing and going. And I'm grateful for
Mm.
everything everybody leaves for me.
I what a It's so wonderful to see. I know I like flying from one part of the area to the other, but being able to fly across and all over the world in one night, not only is it pure magic, but I'm very jealous that you're able to do something like that.
Well, oh goodness, I'll tell you, with all the lights and everything, well, of course, Christmas is such a special time, a wonderful time. The decorations alone are so beautiful. How could you not love Christmas? The decorations, the pretty lights, just the scents, the Christmas tree, the smell. Cookies baking in the oven, pies, and all those traditions that people um, spend time with one another. Christmas
Mm,
about is, of course, the spirit of Christmas is all about love, right? The greatest love we share with one another, and that's why we give gifts to one another to show our love and for one another and our fellow man, mankind. And it's such a wonderful thing to do. Families get together. They have these traditions that they do every single year. Whether you're baking a pie with grandma, her famous recipe, or whether you're making the popcorn garland to put on the Christmas tree.
that was when we did that in the construction paper chains that we wrap around the trees for you, and you would show up.
Oh, and they wonder, and that's one of the things that I love the most about visiting with, you know, sometimes my visit is within a blink of an eye, but when I'm there, I love seeing the decorations, how everybody puts up their Christmas trees or their garlands or the things that they put on the wall, or their centerpieces for their tables and things like that. It's so wonderful.
Mm. That actually, it's a really good question. So I've heard kids ask sometimes, "What happens if I don't have a fireplace or a chimney? How does Santa Claus get in?"
Oh, well, of course, that's a great question. And of course, I always keep some magic keys with me. And I know I had some around here somewhere actually. Uh, oh, let's see. Well, these are some of the ones that I've had before, as you can see right here.
Okay.
So I'll keep some magic keys with me, and these will work on Christmas Eve only. So if those children that don't have a fireplace or a chimney, all I need to do is take my magic key and I touch that onto their door lock. It automatically opens the door. I'm able to come in, leave all the gifts that I need to leave, and then on my way I go.
I am absolutely that even answers it for me because I really wasn't 100%. I knew magic happened, but I didn't know that there were magic keys. So I appreciate you sharing that. Um, so for our little listeners today, how can kids help spread the same joy and giving spirit that you bring?
Oh, that's a wonderful question. You know, I think children now sometimes if they have a great thing to do, if they have some toys that they've been playing with for a while and they're still in decent shape, but maybe they've gotten a little bored of them or something like that, then maybe they can make sure those are cleaned up really nice and put them in a box and maybe take them to the local what they have over in the United States, Toys for Tots, right?
Mm,
They could leave their toys and donate them at the local pantry. And that's another good thing is to go to your local soup kitchen or soup pantry and food pantry and donate maybe a Thanksgiving Day meal or a Christmas meal and to help those who need are in need, especially during some of the things that are going on around the world, right? Everybody's needs a
mm,
little help now and then, and that's
we do.
giving is also joy. So you see, happiness comes from spiritual wealth and not material wealth, and happiness comes from giving and not getting. And if we try to bring happiness to one another, we cannot stop it from coming back to us, you see.
Mm.
And also, to get joy, we must give it, and to keep joy, we must scatter it all about the world.
Santa Claus. I love it. One of the so you brought up a really good point about, repurposing toys. And I know some kids kind of can have that fear that you would be upset that if it was a toy that you brought them last year if they
Oh,
give it away.
goodness.
How would you what would you like to say to those kind of kids and that
Well,
fear?
if I'm not saying for them to give all their toys that they got last year, but maybe pick one or two that they may not play with, and that's maybe just sitting in their toy box or in their room, and that is a great gesture, but that shows compassion and it also shows love so that they want someone else to enjoy that same joy like I just spoke about. So they're
Mm.
giving that joy to somebody else. And in return, that joy will come back to them.
Magical. Absolutely magical. Here's another good one for you. If you could give one gift to the whole world this Christmas, what would it be?
Oh, goodness. Well, I would have to say peace. As a matter of fact, a good friend of mine, I call him Double D, Big Derek. He made these beautiful coins for me.
Oh, okay.
And do you see what it says on them?
Peace.
And of course, on the other side, there's always a beautiful snowflake. So if I could give the world one gift, I would give the world peace.
I agree. I feel peace is certainly give is something collectively we can all work toward obtaining.
Oh, absolutely.
So for our kids that might be listening, I know kids during this time of the season in the year, try really, really hard to make sure that they're on the nice list. And I know some for sure can be, they sort of split the difference between the nice and the naughty list. So for the ones that are trying really, really hard to be on the nice list rather, what advice could you give them to make sure that they really make sure that they are on that nice list this time of the year?
Well, I like to say that all children are on the nice list because I look at it this way. Children are young and they're growing, and children are learning, right?
Mm,
And we make mistakes. Even I make mistakes as an adult, right? We all make
mhm.
mistakes. But I know the nature of a child is to learn and grow. I know that the naughty, naughty children, well, they can sometimes be very, very nice. And the nicest of children, well, they can be naughty at times. So as long as they try, and I will tell, I have 5 simple rules to stay on the nice list. Rule number 1, of course, is to keep your rooms neat and clean. That way your toys aren't going to get broken or misplaced or lost. Rule number 2 is to brush those teeth twice a day so you have beautiful smiles when you're taking your photos, your family photos, and your pictures with me, of course. And rule number 3, well, that is, of course, help your parents around the house with a chore or two, just like the elves are always helping around at the North Pole. Let's see, that was then. No, rule number 4, when you're in school, always try the best you can to learn as much as you can while you're in school. But the most important rule of all is to always be kind to others. And if they follow those 5 simple rules, they're always on the nice list.
All right, kids. Santa's getting ready for his big night. And before he checks the list one last time, he's stopping for a quick cookie break. While he does, it's the perfect chance for you to conduct a Christmas spirit check-in. Have you been kind today? Have you shared a smile or helped someone who needed it? And have you taken a moment to really believe in the magic of Christmas? Because that's what Christmas spirit is all about. Kindness, giving, and keeping the magic alive in your heart. We'll see you right here tomorrow on the Passionate Leader podcast. Until then, sleep tight.